Welcome everybody. As we're getting into this next game, we are going to be spawning directly on top of ROOT.Major, who will be the pink Terran in the top right, going up against roxkis.FRAER, the green Protoss in the bottom left. We're playing on GSL Daybreak, and the very interesting thing about this is because we're in the Zotac Cup, this wasn't necessarily FRAER's choice. He lost the last game, but the map order is predetermined through the vetoes that happen before the games even start. So all we know is that FRAER at the very least doesn't mind playing this against Terran more so than the other maps that were already vetoed. So right now we're just checking out Major's setting out a very standard thing. Just the 10 supply depot has begun, and that's pretty much the most normal thing ever for a Terran. FRAER has once again chosen to send out a very early probe. Looks like he sent it, I think actually that might have been sent again before the pylon. Because it's way across the map right now. The pylon just finished. He really wants to get in and see what Major is doing. And this is actually cause he's going to be able to block the barracks from going down, I think, unless Major may just throw it out somewhere else. But he's actually delayed all of 5 minerals. Ooh, the horror. He's going to be so off in his build order now. It's supposed to be a joke, by the way. I don't think it's that good, though. Alright, but now we're having FRAER continue to move forward, run around. He's got full knowledge on this probe thing right now, because Major is just going to watch it and make sure that nothing goes horribly wrong inside his base, and just get proxy pylons thrown in there, because who knows. I mean, people apparently can cannon rush Terran. I mean, just like Galsey, he's done it, and that guy's ridiculous. But the assimilator is now down, so FRAER does have his gas begun. He's got his gateway down, so he's choosing to once again not go for the Nexus first, even though his build seems like he almost wants to. He has scouted a gas coming out of Major, so maybe that's the deciding factor in this game for him not to go for a Nexus first. There's pluses and minuses to both, but it seems that FRAER, even on these large maps in Entombed Valley, as well as Daybreak, he's really going for a later gateway, really focusing more on the probes, and I want to be able to figure out why. I find it quite interesting that this is the way it goes. I kind of want to... If it was Roxas Titan, I would actually ask him, because I've talked to him a couple of times after Zotacs about the reasons for the strategies and everything, and he's been very nice, but I don't know FRAER. I also think FRAER is... I don't know if FRAER actually speaks English or not. I think he might, but I really haven't had that much dealings with him. But let's go ahead and just enjoy the fact that FRAER's got a second gas down, and maybe he will do a similar thing to the last game where he goes for that kind of Colossus style after the 3 gates in a row bowl. But the last game kind of showed you why that style sort of fell out and people stopped doing it. It's very easy to out macro as a Terran, and all you need to do is nice positioning, and all really Major did was macro. He didn't do much else besides just macro. He just went for racks, starports. Alright, time to get a lot of Marines that just attack the front. He did a great job of denying scouting, and he did it off of a strong economy that definitely eclipsed FRAER's. So FRAER may be in an interesting spot, and I kind of want to just go for a more normal 1-gate expand. His minerals are getting up there, so it seems like he just may be doing that. I'm just waiting for him to do that. But look at this, his probe is still alive. Major is about to finish off the first Marine, but FRAER is still running around the main base, and he's going to get shut out now, and he does still know about this gas, and the fact that that Major's got a lot of gas. I mean, if we look at this, he's got almost 300, and he's mining this only on one command center, and it's not even clear. Wait a second, that's where the gas went to. His factory is over here in the side of the map. Interesting, there's the command center. So the factory is now down, and this Hellion count is going to increase, so we may see a run by from here. But once again, FRAER doing this very, very old school style of these multiple gateways, and looks like he's going to go for a 3-gate expand. Huh. Well, 1-gate expand in PvZ has started to come up again because of Seed and his shenanigans, but a 3-gate expand in PvT is really not done. And if it's going to be done, it's aggressive, or if something similar is going to be done, it's usually a 1-gate expand into really quick warp gate and 3-gate pressure, which are stalkers, kind of similar to what's his name, Feast, to Millennium's Feast kind of way that he opens up with PvT. But right now we do have the 3 Hellions. They're moving across. They should be able to move in and probably take down this building probe at the very minimum or something. But we'd have Robo coming down, and we'll probably see him go for Colossus. I mean, the robotics bay could very nicely be put. And will Major get... Major got... Oh, Major got in. He's going to be able to kill off those sentries. The splash damage on those guys is really good, and those Hellions have absolutely wrecked those sentries. That's really unfortunate for FRAER, as FRAER's now going to move in. He's going to lose a couple probes. Or maybe not. He's not getting targeted down, and Major, without the 3rd Hellion alive, is not able to do all that much damage. But look at that. 300 gas was just killed there, and that is a massive victory for Major. Actually, forgot to go ahead and make these selected, so we'll go ahead and do that just now. But one of the major things to realize is that FRAER just lost a lot of potential damage and positioning advantages through losing those sentries. 3 sentries is a really powerful 12 force fields if those sentries are full energy, and when they're built that early, they will get to full energy fairly quickly. But Major's economy is really doing quite well right now. They're even on the workers, and Major has a 2nd orbital command done. This is definitely his advantage in terms of economy yet again in this game. FRAER is just doing a great job of scouting, though. Just take a look at the pattern that this Zealot is trying to move around in. But we do have an Immortal coming out first. I do not see the robotics bay, though. It may get put down shortly. You can see that the gas for FRAER is high enough, but the minerals not quite yet. But first, going to be much more careful with this observer in this game, going straight to natural expansion. He needs to confirm that and confirm the timing. But the fact that Major is just those 3 sentry kills are huge. They're astronomically important. But this factory will go ahead and serve as a scout. We've got the first couple of medevacs on the way, and we take a look at the stim with the combat shield. They are timed so they will be finishing at a very similar point. With that in mind, the Marines are going to become, within a couple seconds, very dangerous. They'll be stimmed, they'll be combat shielded, and they are going to be able to destroy mortals without too much difficulty. But FRAER has rebuilt these sentries, so he does have 3 yet again. But this is really delaying quite a lot of the tech. We see how FRAER has thrown down his robotics bay, and his Robo is producing out another Immortal, but this factory that's over here from Major is just staring at this small paltry force, and Major has got to be thinking that, oh sweet, I'm going to be able to do damage. He actually just clicked on this destructive debris, so he's going to start attacking that, but there's FRAER's Zealot going to be falling to a terribly painful bullet to death. But there we're going to have the landing from the factory that's going to serve as a great tank. We see how the Immortal back there is even attacking it, but now Major is continuing to push forward. He's got some nice stimming going on these Marines and the Marauders, but you know what? 2 shots from those Immortals and a lot of damage gets done. This factory will be falling down, and Major shot, that is an odd thing that he wasn't able to do all that much damage there. FRAER just handled that really as best as possibly could have done, but oh, that's a full liftoff, and are we going to see him go straight into the main base? FRAER, I don't think he's going to be able to see this. His units are very much out of position, but these Stalkers are fully aware of the possibility of a drop, so he's going to be very careful about this. But even so, oh, look at that observer, that really key observer, and Major's going to be forced to pull back. He cannot engage in an area where the Stalkers are going to be picking off those, off the medevacs, but look at this. Major's really in macro mode, going for another base right now. So that was put down around 10.5 minutes or so. But now we're having a Major dropping off those forces. His medevacs are not done. There we go. Now he's done dropping. This Colossus, though, is still alive and is going to be continuing to be alive. And FRAER is really taking these bigger army engagements to his advantage. Look at how much Major has lost now. It really makes up for the lost 3 sentries at the start. Can you imagine if they were still there and they were still able to add more force fields and locking all these units from Major? That would be so powerful. But there's the 3rd base coming in from FRAER. He's going to start gearing up to get his economy back into play, as Major is really doing a great job of just continuing to produce. He's got his double upgrades out. He's working on his 1-1. And FRAER has got a Twilight Council on the way, along with 2 more gateways. So his production is really going to be getting quite powerful. He does have a single forge out, but he's only starting his +1 now. There's no armor, and there are no shields upgrades. So, ooh, we're seeing a force canceller. It's a kill on this 3rd base, but that's going to force Major back. He does lift off to make sure he can escape in the most efficient way. Oh, look at that. Most efficient manner possible. Look at this. We actually have a building medevac on this side. That's kind of cool. Look at that. It kind of needs to get its thrusters back on, I guess they are. You can see how they're actually functioning over there. That's kind of cool. I never even noticed that on the map before. I know there's this going on. We've got the Chicago Kodiak 73, Centaur City. It's the movie one. I always check that out. I think it's funny. I don't know if there's anywhere else that really has fun as a map, but we're going to see this attack almost commencing. Nope, the scan is going to prevent that from continuing. Still, we have the Vikings going to be trying to push forward and do a little bit of damage. There's really not that much anti-air. Their stalker count is incredibly small. Night Stalkers that are on here are just now joining the fray. They were before down there trying to check out for drops, but there will be no drops coming. Scratch that. These medevacs are going to try and drop. But Freyer's doing a great job of really keeping the Stalkers in a good position. If we take a look at this army, the Viking count is starting to get quite scary. And they're going to start pushing out, trying to snipe off a Colossus, because we do have the scan going to be possibly leading to the destruction of some of the Colossi. Oh, no, blink on the Stalkers will be enough to force back those Vikings for the moment. But they are pushing forward, and looks like we might going to see Major trying to force a little bit of an attack. He could pick off this Colossus. Only has 12 health left. He's going to go for it, and he does get it. With a blink forward, we see 2 Vikings down. 4 Vikings are all that remain. A couple force fields are going to move into play, but with the Stalker count the way it is, Major, where's the rest of his army? It's down here dropping inside the main base of FRAER, and we see FRAER's going to push back this attack from Kitty, picking off a couple medevacs very nicely, but look at the damage that Major has done. He's down to he's killed 15 probes now, and that gives him a massive advantage in the worker count. And that means the count is quite strong. His main nexus is going to be falling, and we're seeing FRAER is going to be needing to pull back these Stalkers. Will he? Looks like he will. The charge is going to get stopped. That is rather unfortunate, but this Forge is working on getting the +2 attack. That's going to help out a little bit, but Major's going to run away. He's going to just say, I've done enough damage. He saw the warp into the zealots, and I'm going to go ahead and pull back. Very smart move. FRAER's third is now done, going to work on getting out the assimilators because he needs to get the gas income. Major's not even worrying about the gas at his third base. He's got his main, he's got his natural, and he's looking to be quite strong. Although he doesn't have an armory out, so he can't continue getting his upgrades for his bio. He is right now still at 1-1, 17 minutes into the game. While FRAER is going to be 2-0 shortly. He's actually going to be 2-1 shortly. He got his second Forge down. So there is the +1 armor being researched, and this may be the saving grace for FRAER. However, just the sheer macro out of Major is incredibly solid. 193 food to 122 food. That's really important. 70 SCVs too. So massive economy behind all this, and now we're going to have the Marauders and Marines and everything moving around to the top right to try and get a good flank. We see the death of a couple Colossi. This one's still got a couple hit points left, but not for long. Oh, 15 hit points left, and that is it. Now the Stalker's going to start punishing those medevacs and the units that are down there. There we have FRAER continue to push forward, and he's going to actually end up taking some heavy losses. These Marauders are actually spread out, so the Colossus is going to get picked off. It's not able to kill everything else in time, so this aggression is really proving to be incredibly effective, as Major is just... he's okay with trading at this point. The Nexus has been replaced in the main base and it's about to complete, but Major just has so many units he can stream them forward. Look at his production. He's got a dozen bio units that can be produced at a time. And Major is going to be pushing forward. He's got some very nice micro, and he's doing a ton of stuff. And someone named Let's Troll is giving me a happy face. I appreciate the happy face. Thank you very much. I wonder if you're actually voting. If you want, you go to TheZFNetwork.tv/vote. But it is seeming like this game is not going to be proceeding for very much longer, as these Mortals are going to start moving forward and trying to pick off some Marauders. Good job target firing, but you can't target fire when you're dead. So GG does get called, and with that GG, we are going to be having Major moving on to the finals of the Zotac Cup. Very nicely done by him, and with this 2-0 victory, we need to find out who's going to be going up next. You know what? Shout out to Let's Troll for giving a happy face. Thank you very much. That always makes me happy. Yeah, as cheesy as that is, but it's true. So thank you very much, guys, for coming in.